everybody? Man, just an update so far. Still been a pretty interesting year. Man, it's been a rough year. Those of you guys who are following me like from the past, like you could just go back in the past, look at other videos I've made. It's just been it's been ridiculous. Like just words can express. I got a lot of emotions going on. I know I talked about this in a few other videos, but I know a lot of you guys have been following me, and I appreciate it. Just a few guys following me. Uh, Follow my trajectory through this thing called crypto. And I've been away for a while, but really with good intention, I guess. In my mind, I actually made a few videos that I just didn't post because after a while, I just started looking at I mean, looking at what I was investing in, and then trying to figure out. I just have this nagging thing in the back, in my chest. Like, I don't want to tell people wrong. I don't want to lead people astray. Like, when I think about Cat Girl, I don't feel so bad because I ate. Like, I wasn't. I don't know why I didn't think about like percentage wise. Why didn't I just take 30% off the top of it? Could have, but I didn't. I let that entire game literally dwindle to a couple of thousand. It's like kicking yourself in the head, man. I've just been kicking myself in the butt. Like, why the heck did I just not take some top, profit off the top? And then of course we got Ukraine and a whole bunch of other stuff happening. So it is what it is. I'm dealing with it. I'm dumb. If you followed my advice and got a $30,000, $20,000 bag and you kept it, hey, props to you for sure. I mean, but I think second time around, I've learned my lesson. Like, I just have to figure out, I think when you get that level, I was not expecting six figures from Cat Girl or investing in crypto, period. And now like I have a plan, and that plan is like, hey, 60-40, whatever the goal is going to be, I'm going to take 60% when I hit my number or when I get that insane number I'm not expecting. And then dollar cost average, which really brings me to today and all this, you know what I mean? uh, so brings me to today, dealing with life. um right now, what I've really been heavily in is really been in Hex, and I took weeks off to be in Hex, to study Hex, to look at it. You hear mixed things about it, and the last thing I want to do is tell you guys like, hey, there's this thing you should get in, and then it's a scam, and they're gonna take all your money. Like, I don't want to do that. So I took a risk myself, and I figured I'm gonna take the risk myself, and let's just see if it proves me wrong. And so far, it hasn't. Like, it hasn't proved me wrong at all. Hexes remain pretty daggone strong. They got a pretty daggone tight knit community. They got good people in the community. Uh, there's scammers, of course, that are trying to scam the community, but for the most part, everything's been legit. So around, I think I'm not sure if I shared it in the last video. Again, there were videos I made I just didn't post. I didn't want to post stuff and like have people lose, because ultimately, you know, when I found out about Hex, I just took a gamble. I took the measly couple of $1,000, I had left from the Cat Girl Rise Up and Fall, and I sacrificed to the Pulse Chain Network. I went ahead and did it. Like, I sacrificed to it, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And just recently, they came out with a test net, and I checked my test net, and my sacrifice copies and balances were literally right there. Like, they weren't gone. They were now the only other wallet I think I sacrificed from, which wasn't Meta Wallet, was this Infinity Wallet, and I think I won't be able to see my balances on that until the chain gets recognized, because that wallet or system doesn't recognize the new chain yet. But I sacrificed on two wallets to be safe, thinking like, okay, I don't want to do it all in one, and then I gotta wait until the chain gets accepted by major exchanges, which I don't mind. I'm learning about delayed gratification and waiting, and the other things too. So I got my copies. My copies are definitely in my Infinity wallet, um, but I won't be able to see those until Pulse Chain comes live, more people start getting into it, billions of dollars start going through the system, and it gets accepted on major exchanges. Once it hits major exchanges, and then it'll probably show up in my Infinity wallet, and it'll be like I'll have to put the code in and then find my PLSX from there. So yeah, holding everything from the sacrifice. If price comes out even at 3 zeros, like that couple $1,000 I put in there to sacrifice is gonna be a nice chunk that's not gonna like zero out, which is nice. As far as Hex, I have been invested in it. I'm sold on it. I did my own review. I did my own investigation, just like I did with Catgirl. Catgirl right now, yeah, it's off the exchanges, man. Still around. They're still trying to keep the project alive, but in the long run, all I have from Catgirl are those NFTs. Holding them NFTs, man. That's it. Still got all the NFTs and still got about 70 billion of that. That's it. Like, I don't want it to be a dead project, but I don't I wouldn't say it's dead. I still think it's alive. It's just the devs and their development, they're kicking their feet. I know they want to put a good project out. I'm just hoping they get that project out, that it hits. Because if it doesn't hit, man, it's a lot of people. I mean, there's still people I think actually buying Catgirl right now. I'd want to wish or think so on KuCoin. I honestly haven't really looked at the chart here since. It's just no reason to look at the chart. You know what I mean? So I'm still looking at it. I think my last projection on this, I said it was just going to bowl out. And I think that's exactly what we're doing, man. We're just trailing out. It's like the hype was here. That's all hype. Now the devs just have to produce, man. They have to produce. It's going to die. I mean, people are still buying it. They're still buying in. I don't know if these are exchange buys, but, you know, they're still there. They're still buyers. They're still sellers. It's just a matter of them getting the farming mechanisms out. Like we've been waiting. Enough about Catgirl. It's like, to me, it hurts when I think about Catgirl because I think about losses, tons and tons of losses. Yeah, I'm done with that. But anyway, Hex, I'm in it. I've been buying Hex. I've been buying Hex since I didn't want to talk it to the community because I think around January is when I would have been like, oh man, this thing is so cool. But of course you can see we've been going down and down and down. And then of course see all my squiggly lines. And this is kind of like my projection on what Hex might do. And there's squiggly lines here. Regardless, this means nothing to me anymore. This is stupid, Hold on. I've been talking for 8 minutes and I haven't even shared anything. You guys don't even see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just being real. Being real. See all these squiggly lines? Look at this. What I'm learning is this means absolutely nothing. Like nothing. It doesn't mean anything. All I really care about is what the project does. And what matters is that I got a copy of my Hex. I'm going to get a copy of my Hex on the new chain. So if it blows up or does wild, whatever I've got here, once I've DCA down or we come up, I'm going to have an exact copy of that on the other chain. And that's what I want. I want one on the E, and then I want one on P. I want copies on both chains. I'm also gonna get my PSLX is what they call it, and I don't want to spend it or sell it or nothing. It's just once I get it, I'm probably gonna stake it for if they have like that party coin. I think it's a PRT coin is what they call it. I'm just gonna stake that mug and get just get free stuff. I mean, why not? It's just sitting there. Just let it sit there. I feel like when everything comes out, like they're talking about with Pulse Chain and the whole network coming out, with the whole sacrifice phases and all that, where I sacrificed like way back here in January, I've been DCAing and Hex. Like I'm just invested in the system. I'm like on Twitter, it's crazy. Like I'm friends with people that are, I guess I'm following people that are invested in the system. And there are also people that are from the Hex community that are following me. Like they're actually like, I wouldn't say up there. Like one guy, he's got to be a millionaire. Like he's got pictures of like super fast cars, Lamborghinis, and he's helping Richard Hart with the like his documentary that he's coming out. And I mean, he doesn't know me from Tom, but like I'll comment on his stuff randomly. I comment on a lot. I mean, I don't troll. I just comment a lot when on Twitter, and like he just likes my stuff, comments back. I'm like, oh, that's kind of legit. Like this dude's a real dude. Like he's really going through his Twitter and like interacting on a real person basis. And a lot of people in the Hex community are like that. Actually, it's actually pretty a lot of real people. So when I look at the community and then I look at what Hex itself actually offers, just sold on it. Much like I was sold on Catgirl, and I just didn't want to come out in January and February and March and be talking about Hex and it's going down and somebody catches my video, gets excited and just apes into it and never traded or done things before, uh, and gets wrecked because I don't want to see anybody else get wrecked. I'd rather myself get wrecked than any of you guys get wrecked. So more of a vlog now, more of why I'm just talking like about my experiences, what I'm going through. I was writing it. I think the squiggly lines, I left them here with like, like, oh man, I hope we get to $19 a Hex, but thing is, even if we dip down and you see this yellow line, this was my first projection on what I thought might happen based off the fact that Hex Pulse Chain hasn't actually launched yet. I kind of felt the same way about it as Kakarot. Like there's a development, but luckily with Pulse Chain and Hex, like you see the development, they let you test it. Like I can't go on a Kakarot and actually test the farming mechanism or utilize it and see if it works. Like with Hex, they got the testnet running with your copies, and you can go on there and stake them and see how it works, and you go on there and stake Hex and see how it works, or you can go and trade and swap and actually see how the system is designed, kind of like Uniswap or Pancake Swap, and get familiar with it. Can't do that with Catgirl. So that actually coming out this week has been actually pretty hopeful. Like, oh snap! Like when I saw my copies, I was like, yo man, I got shoot, what, like a couple thousand racked up. I've been DCAing since what? I found out about it in January. I pulled the trigger and I sacrificed around like 20 cents or something. So I've been DCAing since then, buying as many as I can get. Like I'm down. Like I'm down, man, in Hex. Like I am down. And it's just like I saw this guy put up a video at this point, like I just don't care. I don't care. I just in my head, a community that's all about delayed gratification. Like they don't mind waiting. They're gonna wait, until the wheels fall off. These people, like these whales, are staking their coins for 5,555 days. 5,555 days. There is a community of people dedicated to this coin that are staking that long, 15 years. They're willing to put up $1,000,000, $2 million for 15 bucks. For me, that's bullish. I don't really care what the price is doing because they obviously don't care what the price is doing. So I'm going to DCA in. I'll take a hit because I know within 15 years, it's probably the best thing I can buy, especially if 90% of the community is willing to lock up their coins for 15 years. Like, just let that sink in. Let it sink in. I can't think of anything like this that's ever come out, that's ever existed. Can't. Just can't. I can't think of it. It's selling for 11 cents right now. And I was going around I was Googling videos on Bitcoin from 2011, like Bitcoin 2011 prediction. And a lot of those guys sound like the way these Hex guys are talking. Like they sound like these Hex guys are talking. Just not different coin, different community. And these dudes are back in 2011 talking the same way that the community of Hex is talking. And I'm just like looking at it like, yo, but Hex is 11 cents right now. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. I honestly feel I don't have a price prediction for like this year. I really don't care, but I do strongly feel that within like 3 to 5 or 4 or 5 years at this point, I found something that I'll be invested in, and people will be looking at it on the market, and it'll be worth like a couple of hundred to $1,000. But I'll have been invested in it from like 11 cents, and so I don't know. If you're on the fence about it, check it out, man. If it makes sense to you, go with your convictions and invest in it. I don't think I'm ever going to be trying to post stuff like I was doing with Catgirl. I've learned my lesson. Like, it was like a big slap to the face. So my whole point right now is just like, I'm a DCA in. Screw it. I'll tell you my plan. I'm going to DCA in to this point. I'm at, it's at 11 cents. We've been getting some hard rejection on the bottom here. Hex seems to kind of want to follow Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, I kind of felt there would be some rejection in this area, strong rejection based off of this. So I'm not really bearish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on Bitcoin because when Bitcoin goes up, Hex goes up, though there is some divergence with Hex. But I feel that when the Pulse Chain network comes out, this is my original projection without Pulse Chain. I figure we're just going to bowl out. But I honestly feel like it's going to play this level. However long it's going to take, it could probably be a year. Honestly, I feel like it could do that for a year because people are impatient. But those that are staked, they don't care. They're getting free money doing nothing, and they know what it's going to be worth in 5 years. I, on the other hand, can see that. And if you got 90% of the people staking it up, dude, this is the best thing I can hold, regardless where the price is going to be. So I'm just going to hold it in DCA. And my price target to probably take 30% or 60%, anywhere from 30 to 60% off the top. I ain't going to sit there and be looking at like my cat girl account with like $120,000 and I didn't even take 30 or 60%. I was just in the chat like, hold, don't sell, like an idiot. Like, why the heck did I not take some profit off the top, man? Could have used that, and I could have just been DCAing in the Hex. But bygones be bygones. Whatever the heck I'm learning, I'm growing. My goal is to wait until we probably hit around that, $10, $17 range. Even right here, I think it's going to hit here, and there's going to be a lot of selling because people are buying, and the short money's going to sell. And then I think it's going to come down again and people are going to freak out. And then that's when I feel like it's going to go for its run. And when we hit like that 17 or anything past 17, 20, I'm taking out 60% off the bat because Bitcoin and this, they tend to have like 85%, 90% like drawdowns from the top. A lot of people bought here. And just imagine those people that bought here. Like, did they give up here? Did they give up here? I don't want to be one of the people. I don't care. Just I chunked as much money as I could at this, and I'm invested. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that pretty much, and work on my music. I'll get another video and an update out later. Put some links down in my description box, whatever there. If you want to check them out for yourself. I don't get paid to do this, but if you're interested or you're on the seat about Hex, I mean, I would tell my family to buy it. But I don't think they understand it, so I'm not even going to try it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Y'all take it easy. Peace out. Have a wonderful week. And just keep an eye out. I'll post the videos momentarily. I've been working on music momentarily, trying to keep my head straight. I'm out of here, y'all. Later.